What is up, people? It is Bad Dog. So everybody knows by now the New York Giants decided not to franchise tag Landon Collins and to allow him to walk in free agency. Now, I was completely fine with the move. I mean, most of you know I'm not a big Landon Collins fan, but I know that there's a lot of Giants fans out there that are really ticked off. Oh, you can't give away Landon Collins. Dave Gettleman's an idiot. And, I've watched Landon Collins play for the Giants for 4 years, and I've watched every game, And I try to see exactly what the people that wanted Landon Collins to stay, like the people that are really upset that they let him walk. I'm trying to figure out exactly what they're watching that I'm not seeing. I've watched a guy who was absolutely horrendous in coverage his entire career. He's been a terrible cover safety, just absolutely horrendous. This past year was as worse as I've ever seen him, and we're going to get into that in a second. I mean, he was just horrible. I watched George Kittle kill him. I watched Zach Ertz kill him. I watched, Jarwin of the Cowboys, score 3 touchdowns. Granted, that's not all on Landon Collins, but anybody that watches him in coverage and actually watches him play knows that he is absolutely terrible in covering a tight end or God forbid, covering a wide receiver. People say, oh, he plays really hard. He takes plays off. I mean, I was down on Landon Collins ever since the 2017 game against the Rams, and I watched him quit. Him amongst many other Giants quit in that game. And, people say, oh, he plays hard. He plays really hard. He gives you 100% effort. Well, every player on any professional sports team should give 100% effort. I'm not paying a guy because he gives max effort. Guys should give max effort all the time. That's your job, to give max effort. You don't get paid for max effort. He's a great tackler. Well, his tackling slipped this year, and so I'm not paying $58 to $63 million for a safety that can't cover but can tackle. I'm not paying top safety money for a guy who is half a player. Now, I want to show you some statistics here, and I went to Pro Football Focus, and these are just safeties that I brainstormed off the top of my head. I didn't even look at all the safeties, but I want you to take a look at these guys, and a couple of them, including Adrian Amos, are free agents, and we could probably get them for less than we would have gotten Landon Collins for. Landon Collins on this list is 15th as far as, Pro Football Focus's grades. I mean, he's got a 70.4, and I think that was high. That's rated as it's an above average safety. That's how they rate him. And that's what Landon Collins is. Landon Collins is average to above average. He's not, like I said, he's terrible in coverage. Okay, he tackles a little bit. Okay, he gives you some effort sometimes. But I'm not paying a guy $12 million, $11.5 to $12.5 million for 5 years, probably 60-70% of it guaranteed, for a guy who, in my honest opinion, didn't want to be with the Giants. I don't care what he says. If you want to play with a team, you would definitely be willing to sign a franchise tag and to work out a deal. He wasn't willing to do that. He said he would hold out right up till the first game of the season if they franchised him. He didn't want to be here. And again, some guys, they just can't play in losing teams. So that definitely could be Landon Collins. But to me, looking at those numbers especially, seeing how far down he was, and again, these are just safeties that I researched, and I found him 15th overall in Pro Football Focus. What are we losing? He's our best defensive player. We've been one of the worst defensive teams in the league for years. Outside of 2016, which is what everybody remembers him for, those first 8 games of the season when he had 5 interceptions. A lot of it were batted balls. He was in the right place at the right time. He had that big game against the Rams in 2016, and people seem to remember that. But they forget how bad he was his rookie year, and they forget how he regressed in 2017, and they forget how awful he was this year. Oh, he made the Pro Bowl. Oh, bad. The Pro Bowl doesn't mean anything. It's a popularity contest. So many people back out of it, and nobody even watches the Pro Bowl. It's a joke. Okay, it's a joke. He had 8 good games in 2016. He picked off 5 passes in the first 8 games. And in his other, 51 games in his career, he's got 3 interceptions. That's not great for a safety. A safety should be able to intercept the ball more than that. I mean, take, for example, Eric Weddle had 7 in 1 year. And he's a free agent as well with a higher PFF rating. So this didn't hurt my feelings whatsoever. We could probably get Adrian Amos for less than we pay Landon Collins, and I like him better. I think he's a better overall safety. I think he would help out the Giants a lot. But again, I just feel like Landon Collins didn't want to be here. I feel like there's always been some kind of tension and turmoil since the Ben McAdoo hiring. I don't know what it was. 2017, this guy just seemed like he didn't want to be here to me. And again, I questioned his effort on a lot of plays. His coverage skills are absolutely horrendous. I just think he's incredibly overrated, where people think this guy's one of the top safeties in the league, and I just don't see what they're seeing. So do me a favor. Leave in the comment section if you're mad about this move that they let him go. Please leave in the comment section as to why you think Landon Collins should have stayed here, why the Giants should have made an effort to give this guy top safety money for the next 4 or 5 years. Tell me why. What does he bring to the table? We've been one of the worst defensive teams in the league. We won 6 games in 2015 with him here. We were 11-5 in 2016. We won 3 games in 2017. We won 5 games last year. These are all with Landon Collins here. So what exactly does he do to help us win games that we're going to give this guy, like I said, $58 to $63 million over the next 5 years? I'm glad they let him walk. He let him flourish somewhere else. He probably will do better somewhere else. And then people will be like, we should have never let him go. He wasn't good here. He's certainly, like I said, I believe he's overrated. And this doesn't hurt my feelings one bit. We just have to address the safety spot now. Sometimes you got to tear it down and build it up again. Listen, we're coming off 7 years of bad drafts. It's not going to work overnight, guys. You'd have to be patient. And one thing Dave Gettleman's shown is he is definitely not loyal to Jerry Reese's guys, and I think he's trying to get rid of every one of Jerry Reese's guys except for Odell Beckham. So that's my thoughts on it. Giants fans, trust me, we're not going to regret this move. I'm telling you right now. We can't get worse on defense. So let's take the money we pay Landon Collins and fill a couple of spots, because we can do it that way. So until next time, it's Bad Dog, and I'm out. Peace!